It is a new day, a new location, and a long hiatus from our podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I love it. I love it. It's nice to be back.
Well, it is very nice to be back, and as people see that the things have changed just a little bit. Well, actually, it's going to be changed a lot of it because we're talking about wanting to change the whole way in which we do podcasts.
Yeah, and if anyone knows anything about flight test, change is the constant in flight test. Ever since day one.
That's a true statement.
We try things, and then we try different things, then we come back to old things. And today's a special day because we want to share our vision, our heart, and that is one thing that has not changed from day one. But what better opportunity than to go to the location that we kind of dreamed of doing our podcast from the very beginning?
Truth.
That is Pilot Institute.
Pilot Institute. We're here.
Yes.
And it's kind of warm.
I'm not going to complain. It is mid-September. And
77 degrees.
77 degrees. We have probably about an hour and a half before people start showing up to learn how to fly.
It's going to be awesome.
And calm weather. It is
Beautiful.
toasty in here.
Comparatively, though, it's not nearly as toasty as it usually is, though. I'll say that much. And Lee might be sweating just a little bit, but he still looks great.
And with fall quickly approaching,
sweat.
I think we're going to have our best season here. And one thing is, obviously, we're not live.
No, we're not. Well, we are live. But we're not live.
Yeah, we're not live streaming.
Not live streaming.
Yeah.
Correct.
And a couple good reasons for that. We are going to still be broadcasting a video that's going to be posted.
Yeah.
And
well, they'll be watching. Like they'll see us on the video.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on the app.
Yes.
Ooh, the app.
Yeah. So you guys will still be able to watch it, but we don't have the live engagement.
Yeah, I mean, so the live engagement was fun.
It was amazing.
It was after a while. I mean, I'll just talk for me. With ADD, I got distracted.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, we want to give engagement and fully dedicate either to communicating a vision, communicating a story, or communicating with the community. And what we're going to do is we're still going to do lives, but there's, especially during this time right now, Thursday nights, there's times that we want to bring the community in that is beyond us just directly engaging. We want to show what they made possible through here at Edgewater. We want them to show them a picture of what it's like to bring people in the hobby. And, the best way to do that is lives that are maybe not in the podcast format. But what we're going to try is lives, for example, like on a Thursday night, or when we're going to test fly a new airplane, or when we're working on an episode. And we're going to bring that back because we used to do that quite a bit.
Yep.
So using lives for
community engagement.
For like situations and not just
And the nice thing about that is that gives us opportunities. It may even be a live while we're just doing a build for a new plane. And there's 30 minutes of times, we're holding glue and putting things together for an episode or for a new design where, that attention could be much better given. I hate when we don't give the community 100% of what we want to give them. And I think this is a good way to try to do that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So,
no, I think so too.
Yeah, but along with that, Lee, when you came on as the FTCA director and also with operations, we had an amazing conversation. And Steph and I know about this, because this has been something we've had many lunches over. Just our heart to communicate beyond flight and our love of foam board airplanes, but our love of people.
Yes.
And what kind of grieves us is within even going from a 10-minute show to a 20-minute show, we can't fully unpack that.
And when you're saying a 10-minute show to a 20-minute show,
I'm talking about the video,
like the normal YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Well, even in an hour long, I don't think we could unpack everything.
No.
So,
no. But this is kind of a good opportunity, and we talked about this. I remember after the Plane Crazy Build Day.
Yeah.
Heading home, and that was something that was really on our heart. It's like, man, we love people. It's not a tagline. We like planes. We love people. And we want to serve people and connect with people through flight. How do we fully explain that, unpack how that parallels with our faith and what we're called to do by God?
Yeah.
But also, how do we do it in a way that's not rushed or snippeted?
Well, yeah. I mean, because the last thing we want to do is just try to manufacture something. Yeah. One of the things that with this new podcast format, as we'll see, I'm sure it's going to evolve, and we'll kind of hone it as we go. This will provide an opportunity for us just to speak our hearts, and not that we couldn't. I don't think that it's not that we couldn't before with the live, but that's where I think a little bit of distraction kind of came in. Like and I'm not saying y'all are a distraction. I'm saying like for us,
we're a bag of cats.
We are. I mean, but what we really want to do is we want to communicate the truth that makes Flight Test what it is today, and our love for people. And I always like to say love for people, because not like for people, because I don't always like people. And that's the truth.
We are human.
Yeah. I mean that's the truth. But we got a love that supersedes that. So you're getting into the idea of like when I was brought on. Man, you realize it's been like a year and a half ago now.
Yeah,
that was a long
Goes
time.
by quickly.
It does. I mean, things have changed so very much. But we talked about on that long drive back from John's out in Missouri about just being able to share with people why we do what we do. And I don't know if you guys know, my background is I'm a pastor, and I still am, even though now I kind of switch roles when it comes to, like, I was a full-time pastor. Now I'm part-time pastor and full-time at Flight Test and everything. So I'm loving that, but I don't want to be the one that has to do all the let's say faith talking and spiritual stuff, because the three of us sitting around here all have a relationship with Jesus Christ, and we're not not afraid to say that or share that. And I love being able to see people come here to Edgewater and say, man, there's something different.
Yeah,
there's something different, and it's not the planes.
No, the planes are the activity.
Yeah.
And I can share this back as far as, I think there's podcasts that have this, and I'm going to try to do a very abbreviated version. But what brought Flight Test to reality was when my wife and I were in youth ministry many, many, many years ago. We were able to just kind of pick up kids. We would go around, and we had, lived in a little town, little village, and we would go around and we'd pick up kids, and we had friendships with them, and then we'd take them to church, and we'd share the love of Christ with them. But what really grieved us was seeing the disconnect between parents and children. And sometimes it wasn't even parents and children. Sometimes it was stepdad, boyfriend, girlfriend, grandma, aunt, fill it in, where you needed a pie chart and some string diagrams to figure out who was related to who. Mm-hmm. And all we saw was brokenness. And it broke our heart, because how do you tell them about a loving heavenly father when they don't have a relationship with their earthly father, or let's just say a family member that is good and healthy? That really was a conviction early on. And I remember a very specific prayer. I will not go into it today, but where the vision was really opened up to, like, this is how your dad connected with you. And it was through model aviation. Yeah. We flew general aviation. We flew, two-seat Taylorcraft, and I had a lot of fond memories in there. But what my dad really impacted me with was when we would build an airplane shoulder to shoulder, we'd spend 4 months putting it together, and I would destroy it in about 20 seconds. And instead of hearing criticism, instead of hearing judgment, I would have a father who was just as broken as I am, helping me pick up the pieces, talking about it, encouraging me, and sure enough, we were back together, at the work table, and 4 months later, we'd do another round. I'm not that good of a pilot. It took me many years to learn how to fly, but it was that encouragement from my father that gave me those life lessons, that gave me those opportunities for the sharing my heart and sharing his encouragement. My dad wasn't a pastor. My dad wasn't, I wouldn't even say a strong believer, but he used flight as a tool to love me. Mm-hmm. And that made an easier entry into a relationship with my Heavenly Father through Jesus Christ. So that was what was put in my heart many, many, many years ago. And that is the foundation of what Flight Test is. And this gentleman to my right here, when we were doing the flying mystery, that's Lee. I guess it'd be to the left. The bald guy.
Boom.
That's easy, right?
Yeah. You'll be bald one day.
Oh, don't you put that evil
Stefan's
on
the best
Bobby.
looking one. We got to preserve that, man.
He is the best
done
looking one.
No. But Lee was the one that really came along and helped mentor me many years ago, before Flight Test even really existed, to how to hone that, how to focus that. We're all broken dudes here. We're broken. Yes. I can unpack myself. I'm an angry, broken person. But man, I am redeemed by the blood of Christ, and I want people to know that I love them. And it's not a tagline when we sign off and I say I love you, or when I tell these guys I love them. I do love them. I mean it with every fiber of my being, and I don't think it's said enough. I don't think it's expressed enough. And even though we're broken people, we are capable of loving.
Yeah.
And with this hobby, and I'm sorry I'm over talking, Lee.
No, no, you're fine. I mean, because, and all I want to say is, and you keep on going, but if you are already turned off, because there's going to be some people who are like, man, they're just all they're going to do is they're going to be preaching that. No, here's the deal. All we want to do is we want to be real with you and not sugarcoat anything. And like Josh is saying, like he's broken, and I mean we're all broken. You know, if this isn't your cup of tea, I get it, but
we still love you, by the way.
We still, I mean, this is what the podcast is going to be. That we just want to be real about everything.
And are we going to unpack things about flight? Absolutely. Are we going to be talking about behind the scenes of what's going on with Flight Test? Absolutely. Are we going to be sharing new products and what we're working on? Absolutely.
Yes.
But are we also going to be sharing where those convictions to design that new product, or what that conviction to do that new episode, or what we're going through in life? We want to be able to share that with you too, because we do consider you guys family, and family communicates.
Yep.
And they communicate all of it. I feel like if we just, and this is a conviction I think that's really recently, it's just been bigger than ever in our hearts. If we don't share this part, we're not really sharing the most important part.
Yeah, I mean the planes, we can share the planes, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But the planes are, if you were to look at, and I think you just said, like, if you were to look at a pie chart and what Flight Test is, the planes are just a little portion of what Flight Test truly is. I mean, the community is a huge aspect of it, but the day-to-day interactions in which we have are...
Well, it's what we want you guys to take with you.
Yeah.
And here's at the end of the day, if you're like, listen, we don't care about all the stuff that you're talking about right now, we only care about the planes, that's a beautiful part. I still want to connect with you through the planes. That's the neat thing about that. It doesn't matter where people are in life, what they look like, what they act like. If we can share a common love of flight, that is a start of a friendship and a relationship. And wherever that relationship goes is totally fine.
Yep.
We just want you to let you know that we love you, and the way that we're going to connect with you is through this amazing gift that we've been given called flight. And that's why we fight for it so intimately, to protect it. That's why we put so much heart into designing what we do, to make sure people have a great experience. And at the end of the day, we do want that relationship to get deeper and deeper and deeper. But that's by your permission. That's not by our will.
Right. That's exactly it.
So,
and have you ever tried to think about it this way, like what Flight Test is built on? You ever tried to build something with not a very solid foundation? Right? If the foundation is this big, but the tower's this big, it's going to fall over. That's what that faith aspect, that kind of root of everything. That's the foundation, which is why obviously we share stuff, and why we love people, and why we do what we do today. So.
It is.
Well, and I think that if we didn't have if we weren't rooted and grounded in our faith and have that as a foundation, some of the things that happen around here, I mean, and I can't speak before I was here and other people and stuff, but I just can speak for this season in which Flight Test is in. If we didn't have the foundation in which we have, I think that people would be getting punched. I mean,
there's a reason. There's a reason we love each other, and there's a reason that relationship and the growth of the company and everything hasn't compromised who we are, and that is the foundation.
Yeah,
and I think that's a really, really good testimony to the length, but also, frankly, to our community. I know a lot of our community, when something really special happened. We were at Oshkosh. Remember this?
Do I remember?
Yeah,
there was a lot that happened at Oshkosh.
Okay. Yeah, this is, and I talked about this previously in the podcast. But when we were at Oshkosh, we had a little store set up, and it was a great place to meet up. And we were talking. Well, I'd be talking to someone that knew nothing of Flight Test, nothing of the YouTube channel, and I'm explaining to them what these planes are about, what Flight Test and the content, and the family friendly content, and we're here to get people in the hobby affordably. But I'm hearing an echo behind me. And I turn around, and it's not my wife, it's not Shannon, it's not my son. It's a community member that came to hang out and fellowship, and they're sharing those talking points, but they're not going off of my cue. They're sharing it from their heart.
I think wasn't Lucas one of them?
Lucas was one of them.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely incredible to see that if God forbid tomorrow I'm not here on Earth, that vision of using flight as a way to connect with people is alive and well, and that the community, it's not a talking point. It's something that they live and breathe and appreciate and value. And it just makes me so grateful and proud to be part of this community. And it's truly humbling.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
fair.
so we gotta expose the deeper stuff as we grow, and we could never do this in video content.
No, I mean, and again, don't think all the deeper stuff is going to be gushy stuff, and no, it's just some of the. I think that a lot of the groundwork we're going to be laying today, and in the next couple podcasts, or whatever. But yeah, we could never explain and communicate everything in which goes on in a 20-minute.
And it doesn't need to be in a video concept like that. There's 9,000 other things happening, so you just you can't go as deep, and which is why these things are here, why lives are there, and why also this place is open to the public. Which you get a lot of deeper conversations when you're sitting there flying an airplane with your buddy Josh or your buddy Lee or whatever. So
Lee doesn't fly much though.
Yeah, well,
we got you hopping a lot.
Yeah, we'll get you.
Yeah, we got you working. So
you're working.
Well, and here's the cool thing. And you guys, the community, the family, you guys get a say in this too, because yes, we do want to unpack the behind the scenes, the personal, but we also want to be able to what was it called? All things podcasty.
All things. Oh, you mean on the forum?
On the forum, yeah.
Yeah, there's a thread or a category or whatever you call it. Yeah.
I think would that be the best place if people want us to answer questions? Would that be where you'd post it? Where would you post that?
To be honest with you, either. So here's the deal: like if we say that we want them to post it there.
I'm throwing Lee under the bus, by the way.
Yes.
We're figuring out process.
That means that we have to go there and check in on that.
Yeah.
So either there, or I honestly think that a combination of both. Like if you post something there, that's fine. But going through the website and doing on the contact form and sending it to support, because that it gets filtered every single day. So Eddie looks at those emails. So if there's an email for question for the podcast, you can put that in the title, and he can actually make a what do they call those tags? We can make tags in our and that would probably be
that's
the
probably
best.
the best option.
Yeah.
I think structure wise it is. The one thing I loved about the All Thing podcasting when you go through it is you can see the chatter around it.
Oh yeah.
And that's the hard thing. It's like, man, it's kind of cool to see if there's energy there, and you know that there are a lot of other people. But there's a reason why Lee's the operations guy, because I'm not organized.
Something I've seen.
I mean, and it's a good idea, but I mean, it takes
the but.
Yeah.
Some things I've seen before as well is like you take the podcast that gets posted and you place that in All Things Podcasty, and then what is talked about in that podcast starts generating in that forum questions, banter back and forth between community members, that kind of stuff too. So
you
can do that
as long as it's healthy banter and we're not like beating up on people.
Yeah, well,
no bullying.
Yeah, and by the way, we don't say it enough. The YouTube channel is one thing, but if you want to meet the best part of what Flight Test is, and that's our community, the forums is where you find it. And nothing against Facebook, nothing against Instagram. I mean, we post there all the time. But our treasure is our community, and our community predominantly lives in our forums. And if you have a question, if you need help, if you have some kind of crazy idea, that's going to be where you're going to get the majority of the help.
Yeah, and if you don't know what the forums are, like, so some people, because I've had that conversation, what do you mean the forums? Well, if you go to flighttest.com, and in flighttest.com, there's a little category. What are those called?
Tab.
Mm-hmm. You click on the forum tab, and it'll take you to the forums. And from there, it looks like is it a chat room kind of?
It's a classic forum.
Classic forum. Yeah.
So it looks like a forum.
It's an intro, and then there's a bunch of different threads you can click on, and you can type in, and you can message and all.
I've never been one like I try to get in there as much as I can.
Yeah.
But I've never been one for like social media, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just
not opposed to it.
It's a funny thing. I mean, it's not a secret. Social media, like the idea of people going on their phones and looking through and swiping, is not our passion.
No,
we use that to get our message out, but it's not the tool that we serve.
I'd much rather talk to somebody on the phone or see them face to face or something.
And we're not demeaning it. That's what gave us our start. Right. But the forums, the neat thing about the forums is that is really where our community live. If there's like a house, a cyber house, that would be
the cyber house.
That's where he'd be meeting, and you're going to meet amazing people. You're going to meet Dan Sponholes. You're going to meet, Baloo. You're going to meet these people from all over the world that live there daily, that are far more talented than we are, that want to give just as much as we do, and you'll build friendships. And that's kind of like when you go to Flight Fest afterwards. These people that have met each other through the forums, they're now connecting in person.
Yep.
And that's why we call it a family reunion a lot of times.
It's the truth. So make sure you go to forum.flighttest.com or go to flighttest.com and click that forum tab.
It's a big old cyber circus tent.
Yes, cyber family.
But yeah, we do want to unpack it. But kind of circling back, Lee, is I want to go deeper. And I know that's in your heart and in Stefan's heart too. We want to go deeper. And with the world where we are now, we have this amazing tool. And I'm seeing lives changed right here at Edgewater. By the way, that you guys have made a possibility for us. From young kids, as young as 5, 6 years old, learning how to fly.
Yep.
But it's not just ending with that experience with them loving flying. It's bringing their whole family out. It's giving them an activity connect. And some of my earliest memories, do you remember when we were flying at my dad's backyard? And you would see like the fathers and the kids. And then next thing you know, the wives were out there sitting on the tailgates, laughing their heads off when a plane got pile drived into the ground. I mean, what a beautiful picture to see the whole family kind of gathering around and doing it. And it wasn't just a onesie, twosie, like, okay, that was cool, let's move on.
That still happens with your wife that comes out here and watch.
Well, yeah, it's all fun and games until someone has to get stitches.
That's fair.
Oh, that was Lee.
That was me. I had stitches.
That was was it the Versa wing?
It was.
Yeah.
It was a pusher style Versa.
Yeah, that was gross.
It was gross.
It was gross. So, by the way, wingtip launch or launch it from the center, what would you vote for now?
Oh, yeah, wingtip.
Yeah, don't launch from the center.
Wingtip.
Don't think you can get your hand out of there quick enough on a Versa wing.
Yeah.
It'll cut you.
Or anything.
The worst part about it was I launched it, and this was like maybe 2 launches before. I launched it, and Josh says, hey, man, you really should. You know how he reprimands, but in that love, hey, brother, you really shouldn't do it that way. Bad things can happen.
I should have used my Jeep voice.
Right. So I was like, it's fine. Well, what do you know? The next time I launched it, got my finger. I had like 5 stitches.
Gross.
Snafu'd it, bro.
Gross.
Oh, man.
Yeah, gross stuff.
I love you, buddy.
Well,
No.
You mentioned something earlier, Stefan. We just finished an episode, and this is really exciting because Noah's behind the scenes. What's your goal for our next episode? Saturday?
Oh, this coming up? Like this week, Saturday? Like 2 days?
What happened at EcoFlow, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 days from now.
Oh, so the podcast will be out after that.
So it's safe to talk
yeah,
about.
because it's probably going to take you a couple days to probably put the stuff in. I don't know. This is the first podcast you're actually going to do some production value stuff on, right?
We'll see.
Noah's doing the editing of 3 dudes, by the way, or people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And
So
digging trenches
so
under
this
the house.
podcast that they're hearing or seeing right
Okay.
now, the video has already dropped.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we can talk
So
about
we can talk openly.
yeah, about how
Should we just pull up?
I'll put a link down in the description.
yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Should we just pull up what's down there? Or?
No.
Just kidding.
Well, if we had it on the winch.
Right.
So let's back up, okay, a little bit.
Yes.
What's happened here is there's a gentleman who's a huge enthusiast of model aviation in general, and through a mutual friend, he connected with us. That gentleman is Tyler Perry, and
AKA Medea.
Medea,
Yes,
Not
correct.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
not Mrs. Doubtfire. I thought that was gonna be a really funny joke, but yeah.
Did you actually tell him that joke?
No, I know.
You chicken.
No, I am a chicken. I am a chicken.
goodness
Yeah, I don't know.
gracious.
We gotta feel out this friendship out first. It's in its early stages. But long story short, Tyler Perry is a huge model aviation enthusiast, and he also loves huge. And when I say huge, I mean huge airplanes. If I'm not mistaken, I think he holds one of the largest collections of model airplanes.
Yeah, if he doesn't have the largest in the world, I would be very surprised.
Well, equal to Tyler Perry's plane connection, he also has a huge heart. And he reached out to Flight Test, and I believe he was connected through a mutual friend. It may have been Rami. I forget the whole story.
Yeah, I'm not sure who connected us with him.
You connected me with him.
Correct.
And tell that story real quick.
So yeah, I was online, doing my thing.
No,
It
wait.
was
You better tell this story correctly because I had a little bit of talk about this. You and I talked about this.
So we'll back up here.
plot
Lee
thickens.
likes to take credit for a lot of things.
No, it's not that I want to take
but-
credit for it. I just
No,
want
let's-
credit.
let's
Credit
be honest,
is due where credit is due.
Let's put this in it.
Okay.
I emailed Tyler Perry directly about 3 years ago
No.
after a conversation with Josh. That's neither here here nor there.
Oh.
But then Lee and I had another conversation about it probably 6 or 7, 8 months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
About that. Anyways, fast forward to about.
No. Let's talk about that conversation. How'd that conversation go?
I actually don't remember. I've
I
blocked
do.
that out of my mind.
Hey, Stefan, you need to get a hold of Tyler Perry. Nah, I've already tried to do that. He doesn't want. No, I don't.
So
Dude, just try to get a hold of him again. No, it's not. He doesn't want to have anything.
I
to do with it.
did actually. After you asked me, I did send another email.
That's not. But that's what you usually do, though. Is you tell me no,
Well,
and then you do it.
Let's be honest.
Well, it is kind of fun to resist you. Lee.
It is. It's true.
You just like to see the veins pop.
Oh, they were real.
Yeah,
too.
because there's no hair up there. Yeah, that makes
Oh.
sense. So fast forward to about a month or so ago.
By the way, I knew none of this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Fast forward to about a month ago.
There's a lot that you don't know.
Tyler. Well, what I didn't know was it was Tyler Perry's assistant, executive assistant, emails us. I get in contact with her, and we start having a conversation. Like, hey, I have this A-list celebrity that wants to connect with your team. And at first, when you get those emails, you're like, this is a spam email,
Is
and
it
it's like this is
Prince
not
of Nigeria
true.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just like this is not a thing. And we get those probably once every couple months. We get things like that, and you're just like, all right, but for some odd reason, I decided to run it down. I don't know why, because normally it's just like, we shouldn't probably talk to them. But anyways, we did, and ended up that over a couple emails, maybe 2 or 3, she sends me some information and says, hey, can I have your boss's phone number? Normally, and I don't know why I did this, Josh, and I feel terrible. I actually felt terrible about it when I did it. I was like, and Lee was like, you gave them Josh's phone number? I was like, yeah, thinking about it now, I was like, that was probably a terrible idea. But no joke, maybe like half an hour later,
Yeah.
Tyler Perry, the man himself, calls Josh on his cell phone.
Yeah.
And then randomly, like an hour later, we come back from lunch or something, and Josh is like, I just got off the phone with Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
And now it's, hey, my friend Tyler Perry's
Yes.
calling me.
I'm gonna,
Excuse me.
After what he did, I'm gonna call him my best friend. He may not call me
Dang.
his best friend.
You
but
got a
I'm gonna
lot of
call
best
him my
friends.
best friends. Yeah, I'll call him my brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brother.
Yes. Okay. So, long story short, the end I got was, hey, by the way, Josh, I gave this person your phone number. He's connected with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is going to be calling you probably in the next half hour. I'm going to lunch.
Literally, that's what I thought. I was like, hey, just so you know, this is going to happen,
So-
blah.
Yeah.
Which is
so
hilarious.
So I'm like, well, that's really cool. Sure enough, like clockwork, Tyler Perry calls. And by the way, one of the most nice, warm, friendly fellas. Definitely straight. Whoa, you
No.
turn me up.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
definitely straight to the point. But hi, this is Tyler Perry. And are you the gentleman I saw from this video? Yes, and we're talking and got to share a little bit of vision. He's like, listen, I have I'm moving locations and I want to give away these airplanes and do something good with them. What would you do? And please forgive me if I'm paraphrasing, but basically this has been something on our heart, and this is like all of a sudden like someone says, hey, here's a whole bunch of fuel for the fire, And so I shared with Tyler Perry, like
Fodder.
Fodder. Is that what it is? Fodder?
Fodder.
Fodder. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's food for the fodder.
Fodder.
Fodder. Okay. Well, long story short, shared with them a vision that was really on our hearts for a long time of with FT STEM and also with future flight sites too. These groups of kids that go around, we want them to do what we do every day at Flight Test, and we want them to be able to build, create, have fun, take things that are broken and repurpose them. And also for future flight sites, we want to find a way where we can kind of pay it forward and find ways to outfit them either with planes to train from, planes to build and repurpose, mashups as we call them, for activities, just materials and tools. And it's nothing different than what we do at Edgewater. A kid breaks a wing, and we know that there's a wing that'll fit upstairs. We run upstairs, we grab it, we put that on the plane, and we keep that kid flying.
Yeah.
We want to do that nationally. And if anyone knows this hobby, broken planes and pieces and parts are very common.
Yep.
So I explained to Tyler, like, we have the STEM program. We'd love to be able to find a way to maybe, take these broken airplanes, bring them into common, electronics and motor sizes and stuff. And then maybe what we can do is we can send those to the schools and find a way to get them to the schools. Did a terrible job explaining it, by the way, because, by the way, I'm talking to Tyler Perry. I'm like, all, sir, kind of stuff. But, so, yeah, no, not Mrs. Doubtfire.
Dang it.
But he was super cordial, and he's like, I like that idea. He goes, I'm going to send you a U-Haul. What?
Yeah.
He's
And he
he's
did,
sending
by
us-
the way.
He's sending a U-Haul, and he is a man of his words. He sent a U-Haul.
Yeah, but they weren't. I mean, it wasn't all busted
No,
planes.
no. I mean,
They filled an entire Conex container.
he gave us tools to not only outfit schools but to outfit people, and I think future flight sites.
Oh,
with some
100%,
amazing aircraft
100%.
that will inspire. And here's the cool thing. Like, we're up at PI right now, and behind us is the 20-foot B-17, and on my other side is Meglacy. We love taking these things out because when you see someone just come out for the first time and they see something like this, it causes them to dream bigger.
Yeah.
It causes them to be like, that's amazing. Well, then it's like, man, you want to get in the hobby? Yeah. Okay, here. How cool is it that we'll have the ability to be able to go to different flight sites all over the country and be like, man, this club really has a heart for people. They really have a heart for bringing people in the hobby, engaging youth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's give them some tools. Because, again, model aviation is nothing more than a tool to do something more special.
Right.
And that is not beating it down. That is lifting it up.
Oh, 100%.
And Mr. Perry blessed us with a whole bunch of tools, and we've taken that very seriously. And Dave, we brought a Connex in and put shells in there, and I say we, I mean the David did it, and he has it organized from flyable, ready to go, to needs a little bit of work, to parts. And this video that we just did, we wanted to kind of show an example of what the vision is in a fun way. So we took.
Oh, it was fun.
It was fun.
Well, it's fun.
Made a.
They've already seen the video
That's
by
true.
the time.
Well, and if
so-
not, they got the link, right?
Yep.
We wanted to be able to do this video where we could kind of show an example of, on a very over the top scale. So there was a couple planes that were, they were not complete, but they had a good fuselage on one. There was a really good wing, but no fuselage on the other. And it's like, how cool would it be to take this Dassault, Learjet, and take this Constellation, which is a four-motor, 1930s, I think 40s aircraft, and like smash them together
And into the ground.
and into the ground. Okay, spoiler alert.
Wait,
no, they've
already seen
I know, and if not, they know it crashed. But
it crashed.
dude, did you see the
hard.
despair on my face?
I did, but did you see the joy on mine?
It was a little bit too much. How did you feel about that, Stefan?
So I was kind of in the middle there. I was like,
He was
like
more
that-
worried about little Jesse.
Yeah, I was like, that was epic, and then I was like, but Josh's heart is broken in pieces, as with this airplane over here.
And I'm jumping up and down.
Oh, and he's
screaming.
like a little kid in a candy store. But yeah, it was crazy.
That crash hit me and also hit the ground harder than I think any crash to date.
Oh,
Because
man.
there was so much. Like, first of all, like, I have this vision that suddenly has been equipped. You know what I mean? This desire in my
Yeah.
heart to see this go. And I'm like, this episode is going to be amazing. We can take all these pieces and parts, we can smash it together, and we're going to fly it, and that's going to inspire people. And
So
then
your
we're gonna do-
expectations going zzz.
Oh, through the roof.
Yep.
Through the roof. And I'm just dreaming of, like, I want to also show good stewardship with the fact
Yeah.
that, like, show a proof of concept that people can model after. And I showed a proof of concept as how to put a dent in the ground. you
Well,
know?
but I'm thinking I don't know your BFF, Tyler Perry, but I'm guessing that he will see through the crash and
I think so.
everything. That there was so much time and effort put into by David and by Michael
Yes.
building that thing, and I did feel a little bit bad
Mm-hmm.
like last night, little bit,
A little bit.
but not terribly bad.
Did
but
your heart go 3 sizes that night?
well, it might have. But so here's the thing: like you're always flying planes, and you're always taking off, and you're always landing, and I just wanted to see something.
You just want to see some difference.
I wanted to see the failure, and I
Very
love you.
I love you too. Well, Noah, in your opinion, I think that was probably the most epic crash in the history of flight test. Yeah.
It's got to be definitely the most pieces.
Oh my golly. Yeah, it was. I mean, we're used to seeing foam board hit the ground. To see fiberglass hit the ground,
Yeah.
wow.
Fiberglass, carbon fiber, wood,
Yeah.
all the things were a part of that.
And here's the thing. I guess it says, yes, it did end in a crash,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a gut check at the very beginning. And I remember we were looking at it, I'm like, that incident does not look right. And
Should have went with your gut.
I should have went with my gut because it's like, oh, that's turned up. But on this aspect, a positive angle of attack may make it fly a little slower, and yes, it may be more tip stally. But what about the thrust angle? And we kept pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down.
Mm-hmm. Big motors. You thought you couldn't like power through it.
Yeah, well, and I thought, okay, if it does have too much pitch, I could throttle back and I could manage with the elevator. But with the jet, it has very minimal throws. So if you throttle back, the instance took over and made it want to tip stall. If you throttled up, it wanted to take you over the loop. So we were like in this 5-second limbo of trying to figure out which one is the lesser of the two evils. And then I was like, well, okay, what we'll do is we'll use differential and roll command to try to roll it over and do like a barrel roll.
Yeah.
And if we could do one barrel roll, we could just keep barrel rolling it and get it around, and just try to make it last.
Yeah.
Well, funny thing about a plan is it goes out the door, right?
Everybody, what was Mike Tyson say? Every plan's good to get hit in the mouth.
Yes.
Everyone's got a plan till you get hit in the mouth.
I didn't get hit in the mouth, but the plane did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
right in
the plane's mouth.
And
is-
little
is-
Jesse lost his legs.
Yeah,
You
that's
ain't
right.
got no
Our
legs.
little foam board Jesse who's in the middle of the cockpit. His feet
Nope.
came off, but
Yeah.
hey, he still looks
So-
good too. So.
Yes.
The mashup, by the way, I guess it is a beautiful failure. But
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be a good steward. I wanted to show Mr. Perry, thank you. And this was in my opinion, this was like our thank you video to just the vision he was supporting. And how did I thank him? Is plowing one of his planes he gave us into the ground.
Wow.
But
But it still went to a good home. Didn't it go to the
Yeah.
school?
yeah, so what we did afterwards is and the end goal of this was once we had successful flights and big dreams, that was going to be hanging in the actual STEM classroom.
Yeah.
For the school, and they could bring it out to Edgewater and we could have fun with it. But along with that, those were like the two biggest pieces that really weren't practical to go to a school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They really weren't something that would be like, hey, students, build this thing and make a 70-pound airplane and send it to flight.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about for STEM. But what he does have an immense amount of is a lot of different foamies, from trainers all the way up through like he loved airliners and jets.
Yeah.
But there's a tremendous amount of either wings, electronics, complete flying airplanes, and we were able to kind of gather those around and say this could make an awesome, like this ecosystem of parts,
Yeah.
wings, electronics, all works together, and the kids can really dream big.
And you took that over today,
Oh,
right?
We loaded up a good quarter of a trailer, and we filled up a whole STEM closet of just electronics, and we even actually went through the upper HQ and grabbed a lot of our stuff too.
No,
So,
you didn't.
Did you notice it's a little more open?
I've been stuck in my office for the
You've been
last
working.
week, so
So
that's awesome, though.
So, yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
He did a thing.
Yes.
Well, and we got to meet Matthew Leatherberry is the
Yep.
gentleman's name. He's been doing our STEM program for 3 years. He's literally 10 minutes down the road.
Mm-hmm.
We're really blessed. We have like 5 schools that are incredibly active with FT STEM.
Yeah.
And we want to start with that immediately. Get this process to how does a school reach out and how do they do this? And again, I'm not a process guy. The guy, whichever direction, Lee's
Yeah.
a process guy. We'll figure this out, and we're
Yeah.
going to communicate that. But if at the end of the day, what I would like to see is for content, we can go in this container, we can grab a project, maybe it's a flyable airplane, and we can do a challenge or an inspirational thing. We're not going to kill every airplane, don't worry. But then to find a really unique way to pass it on to somebody,
Yep.
somebody or some group or some school
Yeah.
to then pay it forward.
Whether it's just a donation to them or it's a prize for
Yeah,
a challenge
exactly.
in which they do,
Yeah.
or yeah.
The planes aren't special to us if we get to take a toy out and fly it in circles and land it and put it away. That's not what our heart is. That's honestly why we lean into our faith so much. We want to use these as ways to bless other people, impact other people. And,
Yeah.
and what Mr. Perry did was just, it's fodder.
It's fodder.
It's fodder. It's
good
and
fodder.
And it's timely too, because
Yes.
we're seeing in this world with aviation and stuff. There's so many shortages of careers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm losing my words. What is it?
In the aviation industry, the job
There's job
pool,
shortages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was saying 64,000 in 10 years. I forgot a zero, didn't I?
Yeah, it's like 640,000. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
amount.
Stupid numbers
And,
of people. Yeah.
and that's not people in the kingdom. That's not pilots alone.
No.
That's mechanics. They don't realize, for every one pilot, I'm going to forget the ratio, exponentially more maintenance, exponentially more other jobs around that. And all of them are special. All of them are fulfilling and wonderful.
Yep.
These are now tools where we can say, listen, if you want to have fun flying and make memories and laugh, that's awesome. If you want to have a career path, that's awesome. And this timing with this for schools and also for what we want to do with FTCA flight sites, it's perfect.
It is.
And,
Yep,
and
yep.
here at Edgewater, we get to see that every Thursday night. We get to see that unfold, and everyone knows, like, Friday morning, I'm like a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of Thursday nights, getting
Which
trained.
that's today.
I know, I'm excited, dude.
The
Yeah,
day.
matter of fact, in about an hour from now.
Yep.
So, we want to show that by example, and this was the perfect opportunity to do it. And my only regret is I still would have loved, because I was working hard on what's in this box here. I was bouncing between meetings, and Michael and David put all the work into the airplane.
And then you come out and crash it.
And then, here you go, Josh. You did none of the work, but I'm going to let you have the first flight. And what do? I just drill that thing into the ground.
Drive it.
I'm a jerk.
Yes.
I'm a real jerk.
You jerk.
Holy cow, man.
No, it's but we still love you, even though you're a jerk.
Stefan, from the bottom of my heart, man, thank you for chasing that down and giving me my number, because this would not have happened.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. That's I'm here to serve, and at the end of the day, God brings things into fruition a lot of the times for us. I'm just the catalyst that gives it to one of you guys. And honestly, that's just how it works sometimes. And so
he's just the bear.
the bear.
The bear, yeah, like the donkey.
He's my encouragement.
Yeah, no, and it's been great. And at the end of the day, like, it's just there's Tyler Perry is one example of some of the amazing people that we've gotten to work with over the years.
Yeah. Yep.
From lack of a better term, big names to small names to and the cool thing about it is that in God's eyes we're all the same.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like we're people. We're made in His own image, and we're the people that get to love each other and on this earth, and while the time that we're here. So it's been great, and I've actually been really excited because I get to watch you interact with these different people that you start conversing with, whether it's Tyler Perry or whether it's someone out here at Edgewater or whatever, and there's a little pip in the step, when he gets to see people in person or talk to them in real life and that kind of stuff. So it's been great, I think, for you and for Flight Test, and just for all of us, because when we're happy, it usually means the rest of the team's happy. So it's usually pretty cool.
It's fulfilling, and you kind of walk in and you realize just how God opens doors at certain times.
Yep.
And it's humbling. Like I drive. I'm 10 minutes away from here is where I live. Pulling the drive when I'm driving down, and I'm seeing the different runways, and it goes without fail. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, I was flying with that person this time, and we all have those special memories. As a matter of fact, you had a special memory with your kid's birthday party this weekend.
I did. This last weekend we had Brody and Grayson's combined birthday party with a bunch of friends, and we had a slip and slide thanks to Noah. he had a slip and slide that we used a while back, and we used that. It wouldn't running down with the sprinkler systems and all that kind of stuff, and getting slapped in the face with water on the bottom, where it all collects. And then all their friends were coming out, and we had these little boxes that you cut holes out in. They're like little go-kart looking things, and they sit there and they watch a movie. We were doing a movie under the stars.
What age group are your kids?
So Brody's 4 and Grayson's almost 6.
So guys, if your grandparents, parents, friends, listen up really carefully, because this is the ultimate cheat code to have the best birthday, but also lock down the little ones.
That's right.
Put them in boxes?
Yeah, so get this. So
wait for it. It's awesome.
You take a decent sized box that a kid would fit in. You close both sides, and you cut out a hole in the kind of the back 2/3 of it. You leave a little bit of space in the front. I'll tell you why here in a second. And you open that up, and you can put blankets, and they can sit in it while they watch the movie.
It's a drive-in.
It's essentially like a little miniature drive-in movie theater.
And have room for their popcorn.
And have room. And here's the other cool thing is that how it's so if you have kids, younger age kids, they can sometimes be like herding cattle, right? Like they're running around crazy, like chickens.
I'm gonna
with their
get a
heads cut
box
off.
that Josh can fit in.
Yes,
Maybe we'd be able to keep it.
It's a great decision. We'll get a Gaylord, the big ones or whatever. But no, and so it keeps their attention, right? They're like, oh, I'm sitting in something cool. So they sit there and they actually watch the movie, and so the parents can relax and like actually know where their kids are at. Plus, you leave that little bit of front open, right? You can put little cup holders in there. You can cut out cup holders. You can make it be like a little plate where they can put their popcorn or their hot dog or whatever.
Were you on Pinterest?
No, this was my wife's idea.
Hey, by the way, Pinterest rocks.
Pinterest is cool. So anyways, so if you have kids, it's a great idea. Pass it on. And by the way, not even just for 5, 6 year olds. Our church used it for the youth group. So 6th, 7th, 8th graders had a great time with it as well.
Yeah, I mean,
you can decorate it. It's awesome.
Again, I'm a big boy. I might need a big box, but I kind of want to do it.
Yep, we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make that happen sometime next week.
We have different family nights and stuff, and we have the projector you had is the projector here at Edgewater and the inflatable. I mean, I could see that like on a fall flying event. Like, not all kids have the ability to build the planes,
Right.
but give them a project or something to do like that. Similar to what Jesse did with the awesome hats at Flight Fest.
Oh,
Like,
Yes. Yep.
Again, full circle, guys. We just like using different activities as tools that connect.
Yeah.
And we also like seeing
Truth.
family and friends having those tools as well.
And you could easily put a little baby foam board wings on there and a nose, and that would
There it
look
is.
like a fat pudgy plane. They
Oh
would
my
they would go
gosh.
insane.
Oh, speaking of a fat pudgy plane,
Yes.
we'll have to unpack my idea. But I don't have the full idea, but I've got the beginning
I like it.
idea. I know you do, of the FT Misfit.
Oh, is
man.
it gonna be fat and pudgy?
It's gonna be, but I've got the fuselage. I need some in my
Okay.
head, so I'll tell you later. but then
Okay,
we'll
I like
tell,
it.
Coming soon to
I
a
like
theater
that.
near you.
So,
No, there's a lot of cool things to unpack
Yeah.
here, Shirley, and we'll do
Well-
that in separate episodes. But
yeah.
One final thing I want to unpack because I'm guessing we're running out of time.
Oh yeah, we're up on the clock right now.
Okay, cool. Well, one really cool thing is the new Guardian
Yes.
is coming out. Well,
It'll be
now.
out by the time they see this.
Okay, so friends, if you are looking for your first experience with getting into multi-rotors where you can build it and fly it, the whole team, Stefan, I think you tracked down the board. Wes had a tremendous amount of influence on this. We have a new Guardian V2, new motors, new control board, amazing build experience, and this little guy here has made me a better quad pilot in the past week I've been tuning.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you've been working with our newest member of the team too, with Cujo.
Cujo, Josh Cook, yes.
Yeah, he's had a lot of input in this as well.
Cujo's tune is in here.
Oh,
So, and it's amazing.
Beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw me because I've been flying battery after battery. I am whipping around with the Guardian at speeds around the HQ that I couldn't even do with a tiny whoop.
yeah.
And
Yes.
it is an amazing, fun experience to build. And it all is contained in a little tiny gremlin thing. You can take it with you. It's amazing. That
Is
is
it
available
amazing?
now. I love it. I mean, I'm a plane guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
My kid ribbed me to says, you know, you're gonna have to do some chase footage, so I do some flying. I'm like, oh my gosh, this may actually give me an opportunity
Dun, dun, dun.
because
Nice.
I'm loving this thing. So, long story short, if you're looking to get into the hobby, this is not only we use it for FT STEM, but this is not only just for educational purposes. This is something you can really get into, and I would love to see these actually in schools with races. And you know how anti-racing I've been.
Ooh, yeah.
Like I
Anti-competition.
anti-competition. I don't want
Yeah.
people just to pay to play. I want people to have an experience. But I was wrong because seeing when we delivered these planes, I brought this down, and a young man actually from Minerva, he did the STEM project with the early version of the Guardian. Helped him with the tune. We put this in his hands. See the joy on his face and how he lit up. I'm like, son of a gun, I'm an idiot. So I'm really
wouldn't say
convicted.
that,
So, but this with the guards, it's fully guarded with the solution in general, the speed, the agility, the power, the efficiency. I think it just checks all the boxes to be phenomenal in schools, but also something that can be in your backpack.
Yeah,
and
just having fun with.
absolutely, and it carries an Instago 360.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's the new stuff. Look at the tech site because we're going to be going through the build. Also, I'm falling in love more and more every day with the Zorro, the Radio Master Zorro. We're going in and out of that. A lot of really good stuff coming along.
Yep.
Yeah, many
Yep,
cool
yep.
things coming up.
Yeah,
Yep. And we'll be able to unpack a lot of that stuff on this podcast as well.
I love it, my friend.
Cool.
Love it.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Very
And
good.
until next, because we got to get ready for tonight.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. You know, we always ask Stefan for words of wisdom, but Lee, we'll turn it on him.
Let's do it.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah, you better make it deep.
Well, I didn't know you were gonna have.
I know
ask
this
me.
is fun.
So words of wisdom. What I would say is know the truth,
Yeah.
and because one of the things that we do hold dear is the truth that is communicated in the Bible. That's one thing I do want to do more, and I know you all do as well. Talk about what the Bible says about different things, but Jesus says in a prayer that he is actually praying for us, and I can show you a verse in line where it says it that it's His words, it's the Word of God that sanctifies us. So that sanctify means set apart for holy. What does that mean?
Camera died.
Camera died?
You only said 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to this camera then. It's to sanctify is to set apart for holy use.
Yeah.
So sanctify them in truth. Your word is truth. So as we want to communicate the truth, we don't want to beat people over the head with the Bible. All we want to do is communicate what it is that God has already said. So I think that there is many ways in which we can do that, and I think that that's our goal.
Love it.
Truth bomb.
Love it.
Truth bomb.
Well, friends, look forward to seeing you next week.
Yep.
And and as we put bones and organization to this, we look forward to your feedback, and I'm excited about this new chapter.
Yep, me too.
Indeed. We'll
Awesome.
see you guys in the next one, guys.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.